So you're a citizen now. Well done. I heard something about a constable tossing people down sewer drains. Even in this shrine to knowledge, drooling idiots bumble their way to power. Ludicrous. Moving on. I require your services once more.
What do you need?
It's Sotha Seal. Shortly after you and I parted company, I sought him out to discuss our Daedric artifact. I fear something is askew. His habits, his diction, the timbre of his voice, they've all changed, albeit subtly.
You think something is wrong with him?
Worse. Initially, I dismissed it as boredom, fatigue, or even the first signs of senility. But now, after observing him at length, I can say with certainty, this is not the Sotha Seal I know. There's Daedric mischief here, and we will root it out.
And how do you go about doing that?
We will leverage your hard-earned citizenship to make inquiries. First, I will make it known that in light of your recent exploits, I offered to take you on as my aide, an offer you eagerly accepted.
Fine. How does me becoming your aide help us investigate Sotha Seal?
As the most powerful mage in the Brast Fortress, I find it difficult to have proper conversations with common folk. They grow silent at my approach, then whisper as I leave. An appropriate, but sadly uninformative, display of deference.
So you want me to talk to the other aides?
Indeed. It's commonly understood that servants grumble about their masters, loudly, to those they consider equals. Ask them about Sotha Seal's recent behavior. I'm confident we'll find something of value tucked away in their churlish complaints.
Alright, I'll talk to the other aides.
You have questions, of course. Ask what you must. The forces at work here are cunning indeed. You should be prepared for anything.
Is the Proctor still insisting you leave the city?
Luciana resents my presence, but she's no fool. I go where I please, when I please. An open confrontation between us would likely leave hundreds dead. So do not trouble yourself. She will not stand in the way of our investigation.
Right then. So, do you think there is a doppelganger? And it's not Sotha Seal? Or do you think he's just cursed or under some spell? Right, well, we need to go and talk to these other aides. Where would they be in here? Let's go and find out.
You're Lord Fear's newest steward, huh? Could we talk later? If I don't finish this lamp inventory, Gascon will feed me to the fabricants.
Lamp inventory?
Yeah, Gascon must know how much I love doing paperwork. A few days ago, Sotha Seal ordered us to rip out all the lamps in here and replace them with less efficient ones. What kind of sense does that make? Who wants weaker lamps?
What are you doing with the old lamps?
A bunch of factotums loaded them onto a dolly and dumped them somewhere in the mechanical fundament. Hey, I know that look. If you're looking to poach a free lamp, don't bother. Gascon made us slag them all. And that's not even the worst part.
What's the worst part?
Half the old switches don't work with the new lamp, so we've had to manufacture new switches, and half the time the switches get installed backwards, which means we have to do it all over again. Even the factotums don't know what they're doing.
That sounds frustrating.
And don't even get me started on the lamp assembly. Sotha Seal could have turned the fabricators to make the new lamps with a flick of his finger, but he demanded that we do it instead. Do you have any idea how complex the fabricators are?
I don't. But I really have to go. Good luck with it. Interesting. So he dumped all those in the thing. Right, let's speak to the next one.
Please restrict dangerous experiments to designated
Hello.
areas.
So you're Devathir's new auxiliary, eh? Tough luck, friend. I've heard he's an insufferable bastard, but at least he's not Sotha Seal. Better to be turned into a guar than to serve the Clockwork god.
You don't like working for Sotha Seal?
Not anymore. In the old days, sure. He was easy to please because he was never around. These days, he changes his mind about something every night. Constant meetings, new dictums daily, adjustments to factotum patrols. It's a nightmare.
Are you sure he hasn't always been this way? You said he was never around.
Trust me, this is unprecedented. I'm afraid something's wrong with his enhancements. Like he's having trouble regulating. He's a different person, I swear. Don't tell anyone I said this, especially Gascon. Blasphemy doesn't go over well nowadays.
Blasphemy?
Yes. Speaking ill of a god never turns out well. In the old days, he'd take it in stride. Commit your small blasphemies, he'd say. The fire of doubt turns ignorance to steam. But not anymore. This place is becoming more like Mournhold every day.
Sorry to hear that. I should get going anyway.
Right. I'm sure you have plenty of work to do for Lord Fear. He's back a few days and already burying you in paperwork, no doubt. Take care of yourself, friend.
You too. Right, so definitely something very wrong with him.
The Clockwork City welcomes you.
See what the last one has to say.
So you're the one Devath tapped to be his aide in the Brass Fortress. Sorry to hear that. Provost Varuni's ancestors hail from House Telvanni, just like Lord Fear. But honestly, they couldn't be more different.
What's it like working for Provost Varuni?
Not as bad as you might expect. She's young, youth comes with impatience, but I've never felt unfairly judged, and she's generous with her praise. Honestly, if I had the choice between serving Varuni or Sotha Seal, I'd take Varuni every time.
Sotha Seal is difficult to work for?
Now more than ever. I don't pretend to understand his motives, but he's never been so demanding. One example? He insists that we turn all the lights down before he enters a room. Do you have any idea how difficult that is? It's maddening.
Wait a minute. Is flipping switches that difficult?
Huh, flipping switches. That's rich. Each lamp has its own switch, and some lamps have multiple switches. And if that isn't bad enough, some switches control multiple lamps. He's a god, I know, but it shouldn't take a genius to turn on the lights.
Sounds frustrating.
Don't even get me started. Varuni might demand some obscure tome in the middle of the night or chide someone for leaving oil on the floor, but that's the worst of it. Sotha Seal exiled an auxiliary last week because she forgot to switch off a lamp.
Thanks for letting me know all that. I should get going.
Right, don't let me keep you. I can't imagine how demanding Devath must be. Better you than me, that's for sure. Keep your nose to the cogs and you'll be fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to flip 24 switches. Again.
Who doesn't like the light, eh? I think I've come across this before. I just can't quite put my finger on it.
Were you treated well by the menials? I assume they battered you with complaints. What have you learned?
Sotha Seal is definitely behaving strangely. He's made lots of odd demands.
Yes, well, I could have told you that. That's why I sent you here, after all. What kinds of demands?
He makes the servants darken the rooms before he enters, and demanded that some of the lamps be replaced.
The lamps in the locutorium, yes? The large assembly room over there? The auxiliaries and factotums have been laboring in there day and night ever since we arrived. Curious. What can lights have to do with this? Well, there's only one way to find out.
Expose him to the light?
Impressive. I assumed I'd have to explain it to you. Of course, this requires a functional lamp. I assume he ordered them destroyed. Speak to that high elf of yours, Neramo. The dark elf as well. We need one of these lamps repaired and operable.
Alright, I'll go and find Naramo and Renal. Again. We need a lamp. A good one too. Right, where are you guys hiding? I see where you're hiding. Yes, I think I've come across this before, but I just can't quite remember. Something to do with the light.
Ah, I hope to see you again, Assistant. Pray tell, what did De Fear have to say? I fear that he and I might have gotten off to a poor start. Did he ask about me? Any mention of my many exploits?
Actually, Devaith wants you and Raynor to help me with an important task.
Raynor? Surely this is something I can handle myself. Impressing De Fear could greatly increase my standing in the Dwemer scholarly community. Tell me, what does Lord Fear ask of me? Us?
He wants us to build a lamp. One that's identical to the lamps removed from the Auditorium, whatever it is.
He just wants us to build a lamp?
Yep.
What an odd request. No matter. I would be happy to offer my ample expertise, provided you let De Fear know that I did so. First things first. I need to study one of the lamps we're supposed to recreate.
An aide told me they tossed the old lamps into the fundament. We should start there. Fundament, still mapping my area. It's all the way back over there, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh no. Not as far as I thought.
Best price is here.
Farewell, Greeting error 827.
Over here. Back into this lovely place. Oh my word.
Some kind of tubular housing. Probably meant to protect a glass interior? Difficult to say.
So you want more parts then, don't you? Of course you do.
A complex filament of some kind. The weaving on this fiber, it must be machine-made. I should be taking notes.
It's only a lamp. As far as I know.
Some kind of compressor. For funneling a gas, perhaps? Interesting.
And finally.
Look at the apertures on this. It must be some kind of modulator that changes the nature of the light. Fascinating.
Yeah, real fascinating. Let's begin.
Compressors, filaments, housings, modulators. Yes! I think I understand what these discarded lights have in common.
I'm listening.
Unlike the other lamps, these compress some kind of geodic gas into metal tubes, then modulate the light to create another kind of illumination that mortal eyes cannot see. Invisible light! Remarkable! The potential applications are limitless.
So can you recreate one of these lights?
Yes, With Rayna's assistance, I believe we can recreate this lamp without much difficulty. Of course, you'll need to procure the requisite parts. These are all broken beyond repair. What do you plan to do with this light?
We plan to use it on Sotha Seal. I'm not exactly sure what will happen.
You plan to do what? Oh dear. Well, this seems like a terrible idea, but I shall rely upon you and Lord Fear to protect me. Here's a list of the components I'll need. Once you've acquired them, meet me in the Hall of Refined Techniques. Good luck.
You too, and you've got to trust me on this one. Right. Oh my giddy aunt, look at that lot. Parts. Suppose there'll be enemy guarding the parts. Not anymore. I'm following that guy. Oh, stamina.
Increasing visual clarity by 15%.
Ooh, shinies. You'll lend your hand, but then I got to get the shiny. Didn't it? One more. Yep. Okay. Where do we go from here? That's the next question. It does not tell me. Ooh. Ooh, we picked up a soul gem. Nice.
Combat permission.
It's got to be back here, surely. No? Where the hell?
Rotation in progress.
Maybe that circle's got something to do with it. Let's find out. We seem to stay there. Yep. There we go. Circle. It's stairs. that? Oh, it's a fence. Not that way. Not that way. That way. Right, we get back these parts to that guy. He's going to build me a lamp. Then I think we're going to go and see the Sotha Seal, I think. Unless we get on a load of wild goose chases. Needs to load up there.
May Lord Set bless your labors.
What? It says go back outside. Come on. Quite often there's too many of these quest markers that are around and it gets annoying.
Now there's the look of someone on the hunt for something specific. You've come to the right place, friend. I've got a bit of everything. What can I get you?
Do you have any lamp tubes like the ones in the Noctorium?
As a matter of fact, I acquired some of those just a few days ago. Apparently, someone's tossing out the old lighting to make way for the new. They're not easy to come by anymore, though. What's your offer?
I'll give you 69 gold.
It's a bit less than I'd prefer, but if that's all you can afford, I'm a reasonable woman. We'll consider this a down payment on future business. Come see me again sometime, all right?
Sure. So we've got that, What else do we need then?
Combatants needed for a perilous task. Please respond for more information.
Pool of refined techniques.
I'm rather busy right now.
Ah, you've returned! Excellent! Raynor and I have cobbled together a serviceable frame for the lamp. All we need now are the components I sent you to acquire. Were you successful?
Here's everything that was on your list.
Wonderful! I'm confident this lamp will conform to the exact specifications of the lamps they removed, provided Raynor didn't make any miscalculations. So, would this be the time to inform Devaith Fear of our success? Or mine, specifically?
Yeah, I'll let Dave know we'll be ready soon.
Excellent, excellent! No need to return here, of course. Kirith should be back straight away, and I'll have her run the completed lamp over to the locutorium as soon as it's ready. See you soon, assistant.
Yep, I'll see you soon. Locutorium, that's how they say it, is it?
Ah, I was beginning to worry. Not about you, of course. These apostles have been circling me like cliff racers. Looking for an autograph, no doubt. So tiresome. I take it you were successful in learning about these lights and constructing a new one?
Yes. Narumo? I've had a brain block all of a sudden. And Raymore constructed a working lamp. Kirith will deliver it soon.
Well done. I assume you discovered the special property of these lamps. Why does my dear friend Seal go to such lengths to avoid them?
They believe they emit some kind of invisible light.
Visible light? Fascinating. To help with factotum navigation, perhaps? Huh. No matter. Further inquiry must wait. Now is the time for action. I will request a congressional assembly. Plant your lamp on the balcony above, then return to me.
Alright, I'll get the lamp into position on the balcony.
Did you say something about putting the lamp on the balcony? We might have a problem.
Uh-oh.
Raynor and that annoying high elf finished your lamp, but there's a problem. On the way here, I overheard an aide complaining about some new security measures Sotha Seal put in place. Looks like the balcony is under heavy guard now.
So I'll have to sneak past the guards to get the lamp into position.
Looks that way, unless you want blood on your hands, of course. But that might complicate our sponsorship a smidge, yeah? Just be quick and quiet, like me. You'll be fine. Here's the lamp, good luck.
Thanks for the warning, Kirith. Oh boy. Not another sneak mission. I'm not keen on the sneaks in this game. Although they're not always that hard, it's just seeing around you is the trouble.
Bird songs.
So we'll just go like trespass, yeah.
You should have left when you had the chance. Guards! A real criminal would have gotten away with that.
There's loads of people trying it. Where's the balcony? Forward, right, right. Okay. Forward, right, right.
The guards will catch up to you.
Is there any hidey pots to hide in?
What do you think you're doing?
Either, but what you did actually is illegal.
Don't stop there. Oh, you're kidding me. Where did they see me? For crying out loud. This is why I don't like the sneaks in this. Oh, sorry. Could have probably fell with me. We kept out that blue ring, I'm certain of it. Turtle. Lamps planted. Can we leave now? not. Really? Where do they keep popping up from? That's what I'd like to know. Oh, and I'm wanted as well. This is just great. Just great.
I convinced Sotha Seal that the Congress requires yet another lecture on the sanctity of clockwork automata. He eagerly agreed. Seemed almost giddy about it. It was unsettling. Is all in readiness?
Yes, I've placed a lamp. Everything is prepared.
Good. Seal's lecture should begin any moment now. Stand ready to activate the lamp. I'm reasonably certain that something will happen, but the specifics elude me. I guess this is what I'm...
Let me get this straight. You want me to activate the lamp? Does that mean you want me to go back up there again? Where's that? There it goes. We're fine again. That just gets rid of the heat, basically.
Clockwork God found tinkering with factotums. Very severe section. In this place, mine.
That's a lamp activation panel? How did that get you?
My authority is absolute. Keep to your modest experiments. Seek discovery outside the walls or in the confines of your own cloisters. Such is the
just activate it, I suppose.
The mainspring Everwound.
What is that? What's happening?
After him! Someone seize that imposter!
This way? Yep.
I am the Clockwork God.
I'll look forward to it.
I haven't the time to discuss this, Varuni. Wittingly or unwittingly, Lord Set no longer serves the people of Clockwork City. Now, if you will excuse me.
Gascon, where are you going? When news of this gets out, we need to issue a statement or at least gather the Congress for an emergency session.
I have urgent matters to attend to. Make whatever statement you like. I will return soon.
Well, that was enlightening. To think I've been speaking to Sotha Seal's shadow all this time. It seems so lifelike. Far more advanced than my own, I'm sorry to say. Fascinating. It really is too bad we'll all be dead soon.
What? Dead? How?
Well, I don't mean to alarm you, but I will be frank. If an impostor sits upon the throne aligned and learns how to wield the power of this place, a cataclysm will follow. We may yet discover a way to avert this disaster, but the chances are slim.
So what do we do?
Stay with Varuni. With Sotha's seal exposed as an impostor, the Congress will fall into turmoil. In such chaos, dark truths always float to the surface. Pray they do so quickly. I have other inquiries to make. Stay vigilant. We will meet again soon.
Take care of yourself.
My dear Lord Set, what happened to you? I can scarcely believe what we just witnessed. How could this happen? How could a shadow masquerade as Lord Set? The Father of Mysteries would never let such a thing happen. There must be another explanation.
If they knew something was wrong with Sotha's seal, we had to determine the cause.
Fear, of course. Always the iconoclast. I'll bet he's snickering at us even now. It doesn't matter. I appreciate your diligence. This has been a profoundly upsetting ordeal, but we must move forward. We must find the real Lord Set.
Seems like the Chancellor Gascoigne has worries of his own.
Yes. He was acting strangely, wasn't he? He always chafed under Lord Set's rule. Now he finally has a pretext to seize control, and he slinks away like a broken basilisk. Curious. Too curious.
What do you think? What do you suggest we do?
The real Lord Set will aid us eventually, I know it. In the meantime, we must do for ourselves. Thank you for everything you've done. It appears we'll have to do a lot more before this is through.
It does appear that way.
Classic Gascoigne. Fleeing to his chambers when things go poorly. I'm sure that news of Lord Set's condition has already made it to the streets. We have to move quickly to prevent a panic.
What can I do?
Try to talk to Gascoigne. He clearly doesn't care what I have to say, but he might listen to an exodromal. You remain, a novelty. No offense. We can't assemble the Congress without the Chancellor.
Alright, I'll find him. Where should I look?
Check his rectory in the west wing of the Basilica. He hides in there sometimes to nurse a bruised ego or write passive-aggressive memoranda. I'll try to settle the Apostle's nerves. Honestly, my nerves could use some settling.
Okay, I'll check the rectory.
Don't let Gascoigne wriggle out of this. He has a duty and an obligation. As do I.
Are you alright?
What? Yes. Yes, I'll be fine. This makes no sense.
What makes no sense?
I don't understand how a shadow could take Lord Set's place. Maybe this is some sort of test. But why test us? The Clockwork apostles haven't strayed. We build and pray and experiment just as the holy texts dictate.
You don't think it's possible that Sotha's seal could be compromised?
Compromised? You make it sound as if Lord Set suffers some kind of defect, like a crimped duct or a stripped bolt or something. We're talking about a divine being. Gods can't be compromised. They exist without flaws. Right?
It might not be that simple.
Do you know what the sermons say? Complexity belies the truth. The world rests on simple principles. Set is the truth and the light. Understand the simple, and you understand the obscure. I do appreciate your candor. Let's pick this up again later.
Let's. Right, well, I'm gonna go out and chat to this other one next. Let's double check. Or let me have a quick look, shall we? Oh, I'm going too far again.
Where did you hide it, you worm?
Oh, I see. Things aren't as simple as they seem.
The factotums reported a strange energy signature in Gascoigne's rectory. Did you find anything odd in there?
Yeah, I found a creature in Gascoigne's office. Some kind of Daedra. A pale woman, by the looks of it.
Sounds like a nocturnal shrike. By the gears, how did that thing make it past our security coils? Is Gascoigne...
Dead? I don't know yet. He left this note.
Not suspicious at all, is it? A sudden departure followed by a Daedra attack.
We won't know until we find him.
You're right. I knew Gascoigne was a conceited sluggard, but consorting with Daedra? I pray it's not true. We need to discover what he has that the Daedra covered. Proctor Luciana might be able to organize a search. She just left to disperse a crowd.
Alright, I'll go talk to Luciana.
I hope you catch Gascoigne soon. We need to know what he knows immediately.
Does Gascoigne own birds?
Birds? Not that I'm aware of. He might be tinkering with some kind of avian automaton, but he rarely discusses that sort of thing with me. Why do you ask?
I saw black feathers all over his office.
Wait, feathers? From a live bird?
Yes, is that unusual?
Unprecedented. As far as I know, no living bird has ever set foot or wing in Clockwork City. And even if they did, they wouldn't last long. Not a lot of worms crawling around here. They do eat worms, right?
Some. Anyway, it looks like the end of that streak.
Fascinating. I've always wanted to see one. Under better circumstances, of course. I'll notify our naturalists once we resolve this situation with Gascoigne.
Sounds like a witch to me, one of the crow
I knew this
witch,
wouldn't end well.
which is